Hello, my name is Hersh,
And I'm Felicia.
and this is the HERshyt show. A little bit about it, and you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's all right. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy. You throwing up
My hands are all over. I'm like, will you put your hands down?
What set you claim?
I'm like, damn.
So
My hands are going.
we're recording, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's your spirit fingers.
Sprinkles. Remember, like, sprinkles.
Spirit fingers.
All right, here we go.
This week's the HERshyt show with Hersh and Felicia. So this week we want to talk about absolving self after mistakes.
Okay.
Right? So absolving or forgiving yourself. So
Forgiving yourself is huge.
Yes.
To grow, to get past that. I've had to do it. Everybody do it. You know, it don't matter what your past is. Stop. Really face yourself. You cannot run from your shadow self.
No,
You cannot run from your shadow. Your shadow self is the aspect of you that you're kind of ashamed of. You don't want nobody knows about.
So
Nobody.
the cloud that you're carrying with the Peter Pan effect.
Your shadow is you.
Yeah,
You know?
when Peter Pan was chasing his shadow would get away from him or whatever, right?
And
so
you can't run from your shadow.
no. So first you have to acknowledge
Yes.
that you
And
made
nobody's
mistakes.
perfect,
Nope.
at all.
Nope.
Your mistakes and forgiving yourself is huge.
Yeah.
Huge relief. But you can only forgive yourself when you face yourself.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now the statement of forgiving others to get your power back, a lot of people fail to realize that you can do that with yourself.
Yes. Yourself comes first.
First and foremost.
Forgive yourself, and then it's easier to forgive others. You're like, okay, they're just on their own path.
Yeah.
That's their journey. They're not perfect. I'll hold space for them. We call it holding space. That means you don't write them out completely, but you're holding space, like a prayer. You're like, I wish you well.
I put them in categories. That's how I say it. I put people in categories in my life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like a filing cabinet. Like if I know I need this type of support or this type of individual, you know what I mean? You know who you can call. You know which filing cabinet to go to get it out of. My TBI is I be forgetting and slipping and putting people in different categories.
Like you got people that are abusive.
Yeah.
Like even friends, they'll just pop off at you and go crazy because they're bipolar or whatever it may be. I don't know. But
yeah.
And it's like, and then they'll come back thinking nothing's wrong.
But the thing about it is people fail to realize that not every day is going to be a good day.
Yep.
And that's also a part of
that's mental health. That's all that stuff. You have your ups
shit
and downs.
happens.
No, ups and downs, you know. Like, yeah.
Shit happens. Mm-hmm. Like she said, nobody's perfect. And the way that society is building today, and I think it started with them fucking let me give everybody a trophy because they showed up. Instead of and it started after our generation,
and then making big platforms, like they got their cutouts.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? They're making it like huge, and I'm like, that isn't life.
Self-absorbent individuals. You know what I mean? And I'm supposed to get a certificate. My son won. What the hell was that? One of them awards in school at the end of the year. I think it was in elementary school. It was like most. What was it? It was almost like most changed or most, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
superlatives.
It wasn't even a superlative. It was like he tried. You know what I'm saying? Like
the best fire there is.
He ended better than he started. So I'm gonna give him a certificate of he tried, student. You know what I'm saying? But
thanks for showing up. That's it. Thanks for showing up.
Pretty much, right? So, but a lot of these kids are being molded, shaped into, oh my God, you're supposed to be happy every single day. You're not supposed to have any other emotions. You're supposed to be kiki, haha, gleeful, fucking rainbows coming out my ass kind of deal.
They call that the false light. In the spiritual
It's a whole fucking generation being taught.
No, it's just this. They think if you're spiritual, you got to be like blowing rainbows out your ass, every day. You know what I mean? I'm like, hell no, I have bad days. I'm like, I'm like, God.
You have to be able to feel the emotions.
I never thought about that, but there is a like an ideal that if somebody's a life coach or a spiritual coach or any of those, like, and we see you and you're not happy, you're down, we're like, okay, you fake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And me
like,
being,
no, they should have permission.
And like me being a spiritual healing, I can do energy work, do Reiki, all that good stuff. And it's like, and I was just in the hospital.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So people see that and be like, okay.
Okay, she's not. Let me tell you, I can't help my genetics. You know what I mean? My genetics is passed down. I've learned real hard and quick. And it's like, it's taught me a lesson in learning how to balance going to a doctor.
Yes.
Rather than just doing spiritual work.
Yes.
And energy work. Like sometimes it's okay. And it's taken me years. I haven't been a doctor in like 10 years. So it's like.
She ain't. And she just learned a very hard lesson. But go ahead.
I sure did. I was in ICU for about 8 days, about past. And so it's taught me that it's okay. Sometimes we need that advanced medicine.
Mm-hmm.
That it's okay.
It was created for a reason.
And do I believe in like pushing pills? No. I was like, the doctors are good, to an extent. But I still 100% believe in the spiritual aspect. I believe in music, not music, but sound healing, all that good stuff. But when it comes to your physical self, it's okay.
Yes.
And it's taken me, I've had to rewire my brain that way.
It took her to come to a life or death situation to find out the hard way.
Yeah, I've had, I do energy work on people and like my clients, and you see them improve and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you're just like dying, you know what I mean? My physical self. So it's been very, very interesting.
It's been a shift. It was an eye-opening
and
experience.
It was supposed to be a huge shift.
Yeah.
And it sure has. Just like I'm being reborn right now.
And just like with absolving, so you had to absolve your mistakes by acknowledging the fact that not every day am I going to be able to just wrap my mind around and magically be okay.
Yes.
You had to break down and go actually see a physician.
That was tough for me.
Yeah. And now
it was almost like a breakthrough. It was like when I got done with it, I was like,
when you figured it out, when you got told what the situation was, now you know what to eliminate.
Yes.
They told you this is what you need to be careful of moving forward, X, Y, Z.
Let me just explain it. I have no shame about it.
Okay.
My father passed about a month ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of, I'm already autoimmune, so my immune system just went to flatline, and everything kept catching up with me. I was having an anxiety attack. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And then I had to go. I got rushed to the hospital, the ER. Too much people going, you need to go to the hospital. And I'm like anti-ER, anti-hospital. I'm like, I just start freaking out, start shaking. And my blood pressure was really high. But it's been high ever since I got bit by a snake. So I don't know if that's correlated with it or not. And I had a lot of water weight from my waist down. A lot of water weight. I could barely walk. And so I get to the ER and they admitted me to ICU, critical care, immediately. And I have congestive heart failure. My heart's working about 25%, 30% now. So it was a huge lesson for me to think, accept the help that was coming to me.
Yeah.
It was a life or death thing. I had a heart cath, no blockages. But so now I'm learning I have to take these meds that they're giving me right now to strengthen my heart.
Yeah.
It don't mean I'm going to be on them forever, but it's for right now to help strengthen my heart. And there was a lot of things I had to eliminate. I just quit cold turkey.
Yeah.
I took Allegra D every single day for years. And that's
now,
why my eyes are kind of puffy.
What's the deal with Allegra D?
It raises your blood pressure.
Really?
It's a decongestant. But I can get the stuff over the counter, like regular Claritin or Allegra.
Okay.
But I'm used to doing the decongestant. And that's what would dry all this fluid up my sinuses and stuff. That's why my eyes are puffy. Because I just quit cold turkey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, especially if it's raised. Her blood pressure was. I went to the hospital. I got the text message from her,
Yeah, I was like,
her
call
fiance, and I got to that hospital and did not realize how swollen her lower limbs were until she got up to use the
And the
restroom.
whole time, I didn't even think about congestive heart failure. It didn't cross my mind.
Mm-mm.
And Andrew kept saying, you got congestive heart failure. And I'm
because it was a telltale sign.
And I'm like, hush your mouth. I was like, no, hush your mouth. I said, be positive. And because she's been through it.
But that's the thing, though. That also goes into what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You had to absolve and forgive the mistakes of not going, because it took about 3.5 weeks to finally get to urgent care, and then from urgent care went to the emergency room to ICU automatically.
Yeah, I went to urgent care, and that woman said, I'm either calling the ambulance right now, or you can get your mother to take you to the hospital ER. And I went, okay.
Yeah. So now you've found she's not. You can't. That's prime example of you telling Andrea, like, "Hey, be positive, be positive." It's not.
Because that was my mindset. Like,
but she was swelling and had so much fluid gainage on her lower limbs.
They took off 30 pounds of fluid.
30.
So that's take a liter of Coke, like milliliters. Take over 17 of them, and that's what my stomach and
I just saw your calves, from your knees down, and it was
mainly congestive heart failure is your ankles.
Yeah,
it started with my left ankle, and I thought, and being autoimmune, it's not rare for something just to swell up. You know what I mean? And that's why I thought, here we go, it's my ankle swollen.
And plus, you were stressing over what.
Yeah, my dad. It tipped me over the edge. And what's so weird, we had the same symptoms.
Yeah,
it's like his stuff come to me, or I took it on, whatever it was. We had we're even taking the same meds right now that he was on, most of them. But they got me on a really good heart medicine. It's extremely expensive, but it's made for heart patients and diabetics. I'm not diabetic, but it's good it does something for your heart.
So one of the things here says practice self-compassion.
Yep.
And then changed behaviors is the best behavior.
Yep.
So remembering that every day is not going to be a good day. Now she knows the issue. She knows what's going on. She's able to.
And I don't have to go so fast paced. Normally I'm like, get it done, get it done, get it done. And I'm like, no, it's okay.
The universe telling her to slow her ass down a little
Seriously.
bit.
Whew. God said, bitch, you gonna slow down.
Sit down some damn well. But but not only with that though, there's people that say they did something and they cussed out their old boss, and now they have to find a new job or whatever, and now they're beating themselves up because they lost that job because of a quick reaction that shouldn't have happened. Yeah. And now they're in a position to where it may be lower pay, less pay, and they have to build back up or whatever, right? It's like in the military, you get in trouble, you get caught doing something stupid or whatever, and you get busted down in rank and pay, and now you got to earn it back up, right? You can either go one or two ways. You're either going to kick yourself in the ass in self-pity, because the world is teaching us that everybody should get a trophy because I showed up, right? You showed up to the hospital finally. Like, are you going to get a gold star cookie kind of deal because you know what I'm saying? No, you have to listen to those around you. You have to realize and acknowledge that you fucked up. You waited too long. You know what I'm saying? Or I fucked up. I got myself demoted or fired or whatever may be. Now I don't have a home because I had piss poor budgeting. So now I don't have a home to go to because, I got to start over some kind of way because I kept spending my money going out of town and trying to keep up with the Joneses. Yep. Like, there's so many different scenarios. Not every day is going to be a good day.
Sometimes it's just life. I had a pastor one time, he said he got tired of the church people blaming everything on the devil. He said it's not always the devil. He said sometimes life, things just happen.
Yeah.
An electrical storm and the power go out in your house. You don't have power for a few days.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just happen.
You got to be able to adapt.
And you have to keep moving.
Yeah.
But he spoke specifically to the church people. And I was like, I'm glad
somebody
finally said that. Because you hear it all the time. Oh, the devil got me down. The devil trying to...
Everybody's got to blame it on something.
Yeah, it ain't always the devil.
No, baby.
Sometimes it's ourselves.
It's you. It's you. It's us.
It's life. Sometimes things just happen because
sometimes just laugh at it and keep going.
I look at it as a test of the adaptability skills. Anything that happens, either I'm going to get picked. Because back in the day, y'all know I would have threw something, got mad, be ready to fight somebody. Now, like for the past couple of decades, I can honestly say, about a decade and a half, I can honestly say that I'll be like, you know what? It is what it is. It's a test of my adaptability skills. Either I'm going to act a fool and lose what I do have.
React or act, yeah.
Oh yeah, I be waiting every time we have a technical difficulty. I be like, "You about to cuss me out."
Like for what though?
You be like, well, don't worry about it. We're gonna keep moving.
We just keep going.
Like, I don't expect that reaction from
you. No, a lot of people
when I
don't.
first met you, it wasn't a reaction. It'd be like, what the fuck?
We got Mario to cuss on camera.
That's like the first reaction.
We did it.
But now I do. I want I do see a change. Like I do see that.
But see, a lot of people will assume that I'm going to act a fool over the little things.
Right.
And I don't. It's never been about the little things with me. It's always been the big, like, major things. I'm like, bro, what was you thinking? Like, what the fuck? But if it's something that just happens, now that I can say I've always been on, like, for the past decade and a half or so. You know what I'm saying? Where I'll be like, all right, it is what it is. You know, my first initial reaction may be, what the fuck? But I'm not mad about the situation. I just be like, the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, explain it to me, and then we can move forward. But it be the things that people don't expect for me to get mad at. That's when it don't go so well for them. But some things, when it comes down to technical stuff and stuff that we have no control over, I don't get mad at
It's not the devil.
It's not the devil. I promise you it's not.
No, I get what you're saying. A lot of people, there is supernatural stuff. I get it. But a lot of times it just is. I mean,
it is what it is. That's why I say that's it. That's all. Like, what can you do?
Like especially when you have a series of events that happen, one after the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, back to back.
And you're just like, what did I do wrong?
I look at it as the universe is trying to wake you up from something.
And that's what it is. It's to get your attention.
There's something going on that needs to be shifted in your life. And you keep choosing to go against the grain and continue this cycle. And the universe is like, bitch, I told you. You know what I mean? And everything is going bad, back to back to back.
Yeah, especially when it goes back to back. And you're just like.
Yeah, I got some friends like that where things just keep happening. And
it's just like a snowball.
My life was like that at one point. And so at one moment, you wake up and you say, like, wait. I'm controlling this right here.
Something gotta give.
Yeah, I'm gonna change my outlook. I'm gonna change.
I always say I'm captain of my ship.
Yeah, and you really have to do that. You have to make that
my little spaceship.
If you don't, I've seen that's how your life a snowball. If you just allow it,
yeah,
it'll just keep going.
It sure will until you start shifting and changing something. And no matter what mistakes you've made along the way, you can use them as lessons learned and stepping stones.
And that comes with the act of compassion.
That also comes with absolving yourself. Like, I made these mistakes. I was giving my money to everybody else to help them out, and I can't get nowhere because I chose. Remember, I did a little short video on that. Sometimes it's our own damn fault.
It is.
We put ourselves in situations, and then you can't blame nobody but yourself.
Well, and sometimes it's all you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's all you were raised around. That's all you know.
But it also comes in mind with that you showed up, so let me give you a trophy. Yeah. That shit's got to stop. People need to start learning again, earn it, work for it.
I noticed that in a lot of sports these days, like high school.
Shit, in
like
jobs.
They got cut out. I'm just saying these kids. Playing sports. When I was going, I mean, they didn't like celebrate like them cutouts and.
You gotta set them up. Like, watch around May next year, all the high school kids start doing these signing day things where they'll sit at a table when they sign these letters. And I've seen this, like, we all went to high school. Only a small percentage of kids are getting full scholarships to go anywhere.
Yes.
It's very small.
Yes.
But everybody does it. And really the only thing that happened, you got accepted into a college. That's really all that's happened.
Yeah, either academic or sports. Yeah, that's it.
But even if they get accepted now, what the parents do, they'll go buy the hat, buy the T-shirt. They'll go to the school. They'll put lights up.
That cutout. They have a cutout of themselves.
A signing day, and you're signing this letter of intent to go to this college. And that happened in my family. Like, you gotta go pay for that. Like, that ain't paid for it because I called. Like, so they get a scholarship.
So it's not a scholarship.
No, we just got accepted. I'm like, so what you signing? Like
That's
what you
exactly. I didn't
signing?
even know that.
But no, look at how
I
many
have not seen
you
that
know
shit.
some.
I didn't even know that. Oh.
Oh my
You
God.
know some in our family all around. And this what happens. No, they got to pay for that. Like that ain't no scholarship.
They didn't get a scholarship. They just going to school.
He just going to college.
What the fuck?
He's just going to college.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All the high schools do it now, so it ain't no one. It's all the high schools do it. So if you play a sport and you choose the college you go to, they gonna do a signing day. They gonna put lights and cameras. I don't see
Now,
and then have your
hold
cutout.
on. My nephew, Jamari
I thought,
Stone,
what was my cutout?
he actually got the scholarship and everything. He got the
those are
ride,
the real ones.
but he put in for his scholarships and shit. He didn't just get a football scholarship. He got the academic side
so
too.
That's the real deal, and they do have some of those. So I'm just trying
No,
to say,
there is
like,
some, but
He sat down and wrote the letters for his scholarships. Like you see at the graduations, there's some kids that they put in for every single scholarship possible.
Oh, yeah.
And they coming out with 300,000, 400,000. You know what I'm saying? Because of how many scholarships they receive.
Right.
Because they put in the work to get those scholarships. But if all you did was get accepted to fucking college, baby, don't go wasting no damn money.
And throughout the year, they was one of the top 5 players on the team. Like these are the things that happen.
But if they didn't get an actual,
you just went to college, and that's beautiful. Like we love that. That's beautiful.
I'm celebrating anybody that got accepted to school, but
it's just the notion of a signing day. I just, me personally, that was when, okay, you got a full ride, or these people gonna pay.
Exactly, you earned for that full ride scholarship. That's like signing day, going draft day, going to the NFL.
That'll be like everybody going to draft day, waiting on their name to be called.
And I'm going to Chattahoochee Tech.
I'm going to.
I ain't knocking Chattahoochee Tech, but I'm just saying. That's what, but you see what I'm saying? Like, that's not University of Alabama, University of Georgia.
That takes away from the ones that really got the scholarship.
That busted their asses to get.
That takes away from that. Because when you see them in the paper,
yeah,
like Paul Neighbor, whatever, and the people signing, that was like the real,
yeah,
like they had a full
flung. That's a good way to look at it. You got to follow the newspaper. But if you look on Facebook,
Facebook a whole different story. Everybody named Mama.
When you be like the Paul Neighbor, you come out and you see like somebody like signing and be like, they were really going to college, like they got a scholarship. But that other shit takes away from that.
From the one, listen, there's 2 types of people in this world. You bust your ass and you get to where you need to get through your work, your self-discipline, your determination, etc. Then you got those that want to do the cutouts and the.
What's my cutout?
Hey, I'm all about
stare at the camera.
I think it's parent driven.
That's what I'm saying.
It is.
I'm all about being your child's cheerleader. Oh. I'm all about being your child's cheerleader and pushing them. But baby, everybody ain't gonna make it.
That's just it.
Or they're gonna make bare minimum. Which is fine too. We need bare minimum people in this world. Like, everybody is not sitting up here. Get that shit out of your head, right? And just because you made mistakes and you might not get that scholarship or you might not get that promotion this time, don't mean that you won't get it next time. Stop doing the handing out of the trophies and the gold stars and the fucking cookies.
Well, they don't do the next time. It's pity me after that.
The woe is me. That's where this comes in mind at. Mm-hmm. The absolving self. Changed behavior. Your patterns tell a tale.
You know, like playing sports. I love sports.
But that's where you get situations at where it comes into the murder-suicide.
What you mean?
The murder, the people that they have this self-absorption, and they feel like the woe is me if somebody breaks up with them kind of stuff. And yes, I just went very traumatic. I shifted that whole thing. Because there is a big difference between playing sports and going to college and murder-suicide, right? Mm-hmm. But you have that it's a mental health aspect to where I should always have. You can't leave me. It's my decision. I should always have what I want when I want it. And if you break up with me, now I got to kill us both. You see what I'm saying?
And that's where happiness does not come from someone else.
No, it doesn't. It comes from within you.
And that's codependency. Like that crap right there, that's codependency.
It just recently happened again in Paulding County where a young man walked into Walmart, shot her.
It happened in Walmart?
Yes.
Yeah, and I went and found on Facebook. She had been posting. It's a new guy. She's posting.
I seen that.
And
Yeah.
it's like, man, you. How do you teach that? Like you're more valuable than what you think. If you gonna, is that your whole value is based on this old relationship?
Now, if you look at some of these,
That's sad though.
if you look at some of these true crime things that I be watching, of course.
Oh, I've watched true crime so many times.
There's an app called True Crime on Roku, and I've been watching like the world's most evil killers, and a lot of them jokers were that self-absorbed, where it was the everybody should love. It's about me.
It's pure codependency.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, and that turns into the mistake. We're all gonna make mistakes. People aren't gonna always like you, and I think that's the job of the parents and the adults and the guardians and the teachers.
The failure's just gonna come.
Failure is going to happen.
And that don't mean you fail. That means take the lesson from it.
You know what? That's a powerful trickle down to what you were talking about earlier. That everybody wins society.
Yeah,
that's where that leads to.
Yeah,
because now you don't know how to deal with hurt. You don't know how to deal with.
Yeah, you don't know how to deal with failure. You don't know how to like rejection. You don't know how to deal with that.
I see kids now. When you tell them no, the eyes start watering up.
I don't give a.
Like, bro, I just said no. And
but look, he stopped me right before I said it.
I said no, no. I said no, don't hurt. Like I have to teach kids. I literally, when we do Uncle Art camp, I have to teach these kids. No does not hurt. I'm like, look, no, you can't have it. Are you okay? You still good? Like they really have to learn that, and it's crazy.
I blame it on the parent. It starts at home. The shit starts at home. If your child, listen, I used to be like, let him exercise his lungs. I sure did. 3-4 months old. Let him exercise it. Ain't nothing wrong with screaming it out.
My mom would put us on the couch for no reason. Y'all sit down and don't get up. It's the middle of the day. Y'all sit down.
She needed a break.
But she's also
that's exactly what that was.
And she's teaching us how to sit still, be quiet, and obey a command from a parent.
And y'all did it too.
We did it.
Mm-hmm.
We did it. People, then when we went out in public, people were wondering, why are they so good? Why are your kids? How do you keep all those kids? We practiced at home. Y'all know we've been sitting.
Yeah, mom. All she had to do was like look at me. I'm like, okay.
It starts at home. Now, what I did find, and these are old statistics, but I couldn't find nothing like relatively new.
Mm-hmm.
Estimated 600 annually murder suicides. Annually. That trumps the mass murder. Well, I don't know, 2023 might trump that one with mass murders. Yeah, but that's where you also get domestic terrorism and not just relationships, but domestic terrorism, mass shootings.
Well, the suicide, even if like somebody killed themselves just because somebody didn't want to be with them.
Yeah, that's something.
Or they moved on, or
that starts with the self.
It's yourself. You can.
More valuable.
But a lot of people don't.
If you're so codependent on somebody else, that's not love. Codependency is the opposite of love.
Yeah,
it really is.
And love is.
It'd be like me. Say like me and her. Say she's so codependent, like I can't function or whatever, and she
without her being around.
Yeah, or doing for me. No, that's the opposite of love.
Yeah,
it really is.
Well, love is an action.
Yeah,
being in love with somebody, that's some deep rooted in loveness for me.
Well, when
to
you
want
love
to kill
somebody,
myself.
You want to see them be better. You want to see them. You want to root for them. You want them to grow like out of this ego shit.
Yeah. It says an obligation feeling, sense of mercy.
Okay.
In between 2003 and 2005, the National Violent Death Reporting System, it was 91.4% by men, 97.6% over the age of 19, and 77% were white. But there have even been women that went live on Facebook. It wasn't just the men. It's like very rare for a woman to do it. And then the dude went live and killed his ex-wife or something like that, and then killed his. Like, I don't get this. I don't get it.
I mean, if you're gonna off yourself, just do it yourself. Why you gotta take somebody with you?
It's crazy too. A lot of those surveys I see is majority men.
Yes.
Like people like men who are taught to be so strong and don't show no emotion. Like y'all probably want to.
I think that's what it is, though.
It's the ego.
Let that out. Like they need
it's a wounded ego.
But that's what I think it is, though. I honestly, and I'm not a clinician. I'm not a mental health expert. I'm just a little touched, right? So I can speak from experience.
Special.
And I've been attached to somebody that where like growing up, I didn't have the best household. I didn't have all of that. So I was used to people pushing away, or showing the lack of appreciation or the lack of, you know what I'm saying? So when I did find somebody that I guess they call it your first love or your first lust or
You would
whatever,
like, oh my God, what it does, that
I
creates,
actually had that security blanket.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when me and him went through our situation, it was like that shit cut deep. Because that was the first time that I actually had a security blanket. And of course I was, 13, 14, you know what I mean? When you go
I
through
remember
that
one
first,
of your boyfriends.
everybody
In the 8th
remembers.
grade.
Everybody remembers one of my boyfriends.
The reason why I remember that is because of crackers.
Crackers.
Yeah, is the name of a cracker.
Oh. That was not my first love.
No. But I just remember I was like, crackers.
I stabbed a teddy bear and grew some flour, like poured flour in and let it grow. Yeah. Because he cheated on me. Sure did. I was an emotional individual.
Were like,
I was very mean. I was very angry. But I would never do, to a certain extent, I never thought about harming somebody and then offing myself at the same time.
I mean, like, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Like, if you're going to commit suicide, you're going to commit suicide. There's nothing, people that are really going to do it.
People that are really going to do it ain't going to talk about it.
They don't talk about it.
They don't threaten. They don't.
It's just going to happen.
But there are telltale signs.
Oh, always.
That, that clinically or, that.
If somebody's so attached to somebody, they need some help.
Yeah.
I had to go to therapy. I might have told you I had to go to therapy. One of my employees did that, and I had to go to counseling because I kept blaming myself. If I would have promoted them, if I would have gave them a job, if I would have did these things,
you were taking
the 5 steps of grievances.
That's what they was telling me, that there's nothing you could have did. If that person wanted to do that,
there's nothing. No, it's already there.
It took me a while to understand.
When my little brother committed suicide, like it was literally the week after I had just last seen him at my mom's. We had a Easter togetherness, right? An Easter event at my mom's. And then literally that following weekend, I got the phone call that he had hung himself, right? And the situation went into, and he was always a very emotional individual, always. Like he
very sensitive.
He never held in his emotions. He would tell you exactly how he felt when he felt it, this and that, the third. But he was also on the special needs side, but he was a very intelligent young man. But when he started drinking or started altering, his mood swings would get more you know how you got the emotional drunks, right?
Yeah.
They snot up, they cry. I've been that. I was that person one time. I was like, I'm not drinking this shit ever again.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Martinis for me. No martinis for me.
No
martinis. I was like, oh my God, I was all over. I was in New York City at a bar. Me and my sister, martinis. I was so drunk. Lord of mercy. I was crying. And I was laying on the table. I was crying. Christy was crying. I don't even know what I was crying about.
I've been there. So, yeah, I had this incident where I thought I was dreaming, but apparently I was really fucking crying. I was done. That's why I don't take shots of anything, right? But I felt a total ass the next day because I hardly ever cried. But I think it was more
Imagine me in a damn different state.
I think it was the pressure buildup. And then that was that release cap. But that's what, my little brother was emotional anytime he drunk, right? And his wife had ended up just going and taking the kids and going somewhere else for the evening because I guess they got into like a dispute.
I could understand that, yeah.
And he felt like, oh, I lost my wife and kids, the only people that I really care about in this world. And, one thing led to another. And even growing up, he would make those threats. Well, I wish I wasn't here, or I wish I wasn't born. And we were like, man, shut the fuck up. Like,
I've dealt with that all my life with certain family members.
But you do have to pay attention. There are some signs, but there's nothing you can do to stop.
And that's why I was like, there are certain family members that said that a million times. I'm like, there's nothing you can do about it.
But the murder-suicide, though? Why are you taking somebody else out?
That's what I don't understand. Just take yourself. Don't take somebody else with you.
That young lady.
I mean, or don't do it at all. We're not. Don't do suicide. I mean, but there's
Don't kill somebody because they don't want to be with you.
Yeah. That's a wounded ego. That's all that is.
Don't ball up in a corner when something doesn't go your way. Right?
And that ties in with everybody getting a trophy.
Everybody getting a trophy. That's where that mentality.
It's the same mentality. It all strings together.
That's the
It all
foundation.
ties in. Yeah.
That is definitely the foundation. Is
The reason why I keep going back to sports is because
you didn't give me my cookie.
Well, like not everybody got to play.
Yeah.
Not everybody got the same amount of time.
Y'all actually had to do tryouts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they do tryouts now. I think you just walk on.
Oh, it was cutthroat, man. When I was there, it was like, I come up with like a freshman, and I'm playing against the seniors.
Yeah.
And he knew I had potential. He was like, y'all duke it out. And I was like,
do they even do? I know with the rec centers, you don't really do tryouts. I mean, you go, Mario, you know anything about the rec center kind of thing? Don't the Hiram Hornets and all? As long as you pay your money, your ass is on the team.
Now they've changed now to where most of those they play with the high school now. So Hiram plays at Hiram High School. East Portland plays it like they've changed the system now. So I think they do have.
Do they have tryouts?
Still pay though. It still ain't free, but they you may not make the team.
It was just like like some of the teammates may get 3 minutes at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They put them in there.
I know when I paid when Tavares was growing
but they were still our team member. You know what I mean? Right. We still like.
I paid $20 for him, and then they would go out. Like all the kids would go out and do their tryout, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And then the volunteer coaches would sit in a room and be like, I like this kid. I like this kid. I like this kid. I mean, it was $20, but we separated all the kids by teams. We got to choose which kid we wanted on our team. And I always went for the underdogs.
That's me.
That may have been a problem. When it became about money, they did accept more kids. So that what they would do, they may have a team A, team B. Like they start splitting them up.
Yeah, we had different teams. We had like gold team, green team for track.
They wanted all of that in there, but all the good people would be on that first team. Though. They would take out, then the lower your ranking get, the worse your team.
See, when I played.
Man, my basketball team, me and Peaches coached a 9-year-old basketball team for the rec center. We became coaches, volunteered. Tavares started on the game then he ended up being our mascot and extra coach because he was just like whatever. He wasn't really into basketball like that, and he didn't like the fact that mommy was with all these kids. You know what I mean? But I mean they were 9 when we went in there to pick them. We picked all the slew-footed, the 2 left feet, you know what I'm saying? We picked the underdogs.
Uh-huh.
But we had 2 strong ones as well. Isaiah Gilliam, that joker is an all-star kid. He's always been an all-star kid. But he was in a cast at the time during the tryouts. So a lot of the other coaches, they knew how good that kid was. But they were like, oh, he got a cast on. He ain't going to be able to play. I'm not going to pick him. So I picked him. His cast came off in like 4 days. And we ended up being an undefeated team.
I love it.
And won the championship. Like, they made us lose 1 game to make the other teams feel good. Because we was dominating, right? We knew who to pick on which, like, they earned their title. They came out there and busted their ass. And it was like Bad News Bears.
I love it.
On the basketball court.
I love me some Bad News Bears, man.
But we turned these kids they turned themselves into the best team. You know what I'm saying? So they acknowledged their situation. They admitted their mistakes. They earned their spot. And, it made it do what it do. We embarrassed the rest of the teams for the year. But that's also in sports. We only paid $20. But them kids came out there. I
keep bringing up sports because it's what molded me.
Yeah.
It did. It molded me. It kept me in line, like out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you miss school, you don't go to practice. If you don't go to practice, you don't play in the game.
There you go.
And it's that discipline and like being on time. If you wasn't on time, you're going to run.
And his example, it starts at home. His mom used to make them all, and there wasn't 1 or 2 cheering in that house. They had a whole
line. Sit on that damn couch right now.
They had a whole basketball team. Sit on the couch. Sit up. So it starts at home, and you've got to avoid, once you realize what your mistakes were and where they may have stemmed from, the foundation of where it came from, you have to avoid, I call it nouns. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to avoid the people, places, and things that may have assisted you in making those piss poor decisions.
Uh-huh.
So, but don't take nobody's life. if they don't want to be with you. It's not worth it.
I know. I'm like,
don't have high expectations of getting accepted just because you walked in the door. That's not how
if somebody breaks up with you,
exactly,
a relationship, there's a reason why you're breaking up. It's time for change.
And I mean, but that's that mental health aspect.
I know, it really is.
You need help. If you get to a point to where you really want to, and I wanted to hurt some people that cheated or did, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
that's
we're human. I get it.
Yeah, you're allowed to have emotions.
Yes, and the thing is, you're allowed to have them. Face them. Don't run from it. Work through it. It shall pass, and it will pass. It always does.
Scream it out. Don't hold it in.
Yes, and it does pass.
Show your emotions. Scream it out.
And you'll be so much stronger, so much wiser on the other side. When
use that negative energy and turn it into a positive outcome.
Yes, that's called facing your shadow.
Yeah, definitely got to face your shadow, your reflection, your shadow.
I try to tell everybody, I'm like, you can't run from your shadow.
No, you can't. And until you are able to acknowledge it, you can't eliminate it. Until you're able to eliminate it, you're not going to be able to make those changes.
That's true.
And your patterns tell a tale.
And that work that you're doing and you make it to the other side, it's like it literally, it's a miracle. Like things start opening up for you.
Yeah.
Literally.
And like Mario said, I used to snap out very quickly. I am not afraid to admit it. And sometimes I will. Still, you know what I mean? That might be my first reaction or whatever. But it's the follow through, man. And it takes work. It takes work. Do you want to be that individual that walks into the room where people feel like they have to be on eggshells when you walk in that room? Or do you want to be the individual that there's a difference between having respect for you and fearing you. And when people fear you, they're going to end up fucking you up eventually because it's out of fear. You know what I'm saying? They fear what you're able to do. But if an individual can respect you when you walk into that room, that's a whole different ball game.
Absolutely.
It's a whole different energy shift.
And I always say, you know, when you walk into a room, do they like me? Does this person like me?
Have confidence.
You know, once you learn your self-worth, it's not being like, this isn't narcissistic or anything. Once you come into a room and you're like, do I like these people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't walk in with a chip on your shoulder.
No, I don't mean like arrogant or anything like that, but it's more like...
have confidence within yourself.
Yes, it's not like, nothing like you're better than anybody, nothing like that. But it's just saying, okay, do I like these people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And understand not everything is going to work out the way that you want them to work out, but they're going to work out the way that they need to work out.
Yes. That's your path. That's your journey. You consider it a journey. It's all a journey. We're all on a journey. Every one of us is on a spiritual journey. We're all walking each other home, one way or another.
But don't never feel like you have to hurt somebody else just because you're in a mood.
Yep.
It's not worth it. And you if you really care for an individual the way that deep to where you feel like you want to do something to them, then let them live. You know what I'm saying? Like let them live their truth. And if you decide, I'm not condoning suicide, I'm not condoning hurting yourself in any kind of way, but baby, don't take nobody else with you.
No.
Don't take nobody else with you.
And don't blame somebody for your suicide either.
Yeah, no, don't blame nobody else because that's you.
It's all your responsibility.
Starts and ends with you every single day.
True. The blaming's got to go.
It's got to go. Point the fingers in the mirror. Change your behaviors. And if you are altering your moods by using any type of alcohol or substance, then sweetheart, you need to get some help. That right there is your mistake. And if you're consistently making that same exact mistake, whether it be I'm walking in with the expectation of you should love me, you should kiss the ground I walk on, you should give me a trophy. Let's do a signing day because I got accepted to college. I've graduated 3 previous times. I didn't graduate from high school, but I have 3 college degrees and a certification, and now I'm working on...
It just keeps going. She don't stop.
I don't, for no reason. It's for me. It's for me to learn.
No, that's what she does. She loves researching. She loves learning.
But I don't feel like... But I haven't been to no graduation, no commencement. And I'm not going to until I reach my doctor level, right? Because to me, it's just the stepping stones. But that's me. And I've made numerous mistakes in my life. Anybody that has known me for the past 4 decades plus...
Got a little plus in there.
I've done quite a few things that I don't wish I could take them back because it made me who I am.
It makes you who you are. It sure does.
But I had to change my behaviors. I had to change my patterns. And I'm not going to lose my freedom, my pockets, or my sanity over somebody else's ignorant ass mistakes.
True.
So, but as always, twofeathersage.com or Vintage
79 Fine, that's on Etsy, and then Two Feather Sage on Etsy. Those are my two shops.
See? She says it better than me because it's her shit.
I got it.
And 8robinsons.tv. Until next time, understand you don't get a gold star just for walking in the room and waking up and breathing.
That's true.
Bye.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at TheRShytShow.